No, but you can say what you think. Just the three of us, I guess, huh?
I believe so.
Okay.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the All Elite Zone podcast on YouTube and Twitch. We are here for our AEW Rampage live reaction. Tonight's Rampage will be pretty decent. We got a tag team match. Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus Dark Order. We got some other matches, so yeah, it should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, we'll see what happens after. I don't even know what to call it, ending to SmackDown, but whatever. Let's leave that aside.
All Elite Zone. Let's leave that in the past.
Yeah, let's leave that aside. Absolutely.
That was so they screwed Cody over big time.
Well, we don't know anything yet, to be fair, but who knows?
It's going to be The Rock and Roman, and then Cody versus Rollins. They made him look so bad. Like
That's possible. Could they may do an elimination chamber? You never know.
Hopefully, because I don't want to. They really if not, they really screwed Cody over. Last year's WrestleMania was for nothing.
Yeah.
Really?
I think they had an idea, but they just didn't see it through, and that's a shame.
It's unfortunate.
Because now, if they don't do it this year, I don't think they'll capture that moment with Cody.
No, they won't. They like this is it. You can't do it too much. Yeah. My mom's sitting next to me watching. So you agree that Cody should have won last year? Cody needs a big moment, right?
Of course.
Yeah. My mom agrees. If he doesn't win at this WrestleMania, then yeah, that's going to be a real shame.
He should.
Yeah. But anyway, let's leave that aside and I'll leave.
That was really cool.
So we've got Private Party against
Top Flight.
Top Flight. Yes. Okay. So who's your pick? Yeah, that's right. You don't really know them. Yeah. Anyway.
Yes, we got a Private Party and Top Flight 2. They had the first match on Dynamite. Private Party won.
When was that?
It was not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, I believe. Private Party won.
Okay.
I want that crown.
I think we might as well do a best of 7 series because I feel like they're if Top Flight wins, and there's obviously going to be a rubber match, so
I want that crown.
That brings back some memories when Jerry King Lawler was. They used to have Burger King crowns, so he was king of Burger King.
I remember that. Oh, that crap! My feed is like, I don't know why it is. I have like an Android IPTV box, so I'm like maybe 10 seconds behind you guys. I just actually saw the crown like right now.
I am actually like a whole minute and some ahead of you guys, and I don't know why. I'm running it off of TSN, like the sports network.
TSN carries Rampage?
TSN Plus does.
Okay. TSN
I spend $28 a month for just AEW content.
Oh gosh, okay.
I don't buy cable, but I don't have cable. Yeah. And I have business grade internet though, so like
well, me too. And I have this Android box, which is fine. It gives me everything I want, including WWE Network and all the AEW stuff. But yeah, it is like a smidge behind. Well, I'll give Private Party credit.
Ready.
Sorry, what was that?
Maxim Hydretti showed up. I mean, Action Andretti.
Oh, okay. Well, again, you're ahead of me. But
I know.
Yeah. I'm going to give Private Party credit for... Oh, okay, there he is. I'm going to give Private Party credit because at least they're trying to be a little unique. And that's what I'm looking for here from these guys.
than I thought I'd see out of these guys. There's been a little bit less craziness, which is I'm totally fine with. It's been still a great showing, and the spots they have had are on point. It's just a lot less like there we go. It's a lot like less acrobatic than I'm used to, and there he goes to be over the same.
Yeah, I have a feeling. Which one? I think it was Dante Martin that hurt himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's probably a little more cautious now because he really destroyed his ankle. And one of the private party guys got hurt too, right? Because they were away for a long time.
Yeah, no, he was definitely he was hurt for sure. But like to Dante Martin being a little bit more cautious. I mean, I agree with maybe not doing any more like crazy tables stacked on table spots. But he definitely came back. His comeback match with Penta, they did the destroyer on the apron, and with the whole "look at me, we've done it." It's a definite "I'm back." I mean, I don't know, and he hasn't been overly cautious. That's why I'm saying like this match specifically seems like a lot less flippy than what I'm used to, even since he's came back. It's odd, but it's nice because Dante does have a lot of really cool ground game. You just don't get to see it a whole lot. His transitions are phenomenal, but you just don't get to see it a lot because he's usually in the air.
I'm back. We got who are they sponsored by? Who's what's the logo in the ring? Because it's State Farm or it's DraftKings.
I think both. I see a lot of both on. I think State Farm has a deal with Warner Brothers Discovery.
That makes sense.
So, yeah.
And they've done a lot of video game stuff here lately.
Yeah. Well, normally, see, I recall from the brief time I spent, and I'm sure the landscape has changed, but back when I spent time like in the WWE office, I'm thinking AEW is still in the position the WWE was in at the time, where they would kind of split the advertising time, right? Like the network would get half and AEW would get half. That's what WWE did back in the day, like in the late 90s when they were on TSN. So
I agree with this comment from David.
Private Party is so much better than Top Flight. Top Flight really don't have characters, and Private Party does. Yes.
But the reason I think that Top Flight doesn't have a whole lot of characters is because one of them is always hurt. It's always one or the other.
That doesn't help.
Like Darius is gone and Dante's there. Dante starts doing really good in singles. They come back, they start doing good, and then Dante's gone, and you're like,
yeah.
Well, now,
they lost momentum, but you know what? They need some character work, but yeah.
And just to follow that up, because heck yes, Jesse, we were totally just saying that. Yeah. It's funny because I think Darius was actually hurt in a car accident, which is not even in ring. He's just accident prone, which I am too, so I understand
that. And Action Andretti is being completely useless.
Yeah. I think to me,
that was nice.
Was the biggest waste of momentum ever.
Oh. Yeah.
Should have just stayed Jobber. Everybody loved the whole, I don't know who you are. We are chanting Jobber. That was natural freaking pop. Like.
Jericho is just, like literally sucked it all out of him.
Well, I mean, he kind of did it too, though. Like.
He didn't do it. He didn't do himself any favors, no question. But yeah, just.
Like, I honestly, if I was him and I heard people like chanting Jobber, I would have just been like, I'm Jobber for the next 3 months. And then when I finally drop my name, it's like, now it's time for you guys to meet, Action Andretti. But by that point, they already freaking love you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to do something. You have to do something.
They do have to do something. They're very vanilla-y right now. Like, they can do some really cool in-ring, but their characters are. Yeah.
Oh, Top Flight pulls out the win? Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
They've been pushing, which is
Okay.
unfortunate. I don't.
Oh, but yeah, they're going to set up a rematch, and okay, we're going to get the whole handshake thing. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah, we won this time, but are we going to get a handshake, or
Connor.
what do you think?
Like I said,
Are they going to shake hands?
That if Top Flight won this, then we'd probably it's probably going to be there's definitely going to be another match because they've each won a match against each other. So
oh yeah, it's not over yet.
They might as well do a best of 7 while they're at it because I mean have the final match.
Oh, Renee finally got some decent clothes. Okay, good. She's getting better. There was a month there where, gosh, I don't know where she was. Anyway.
I'm not gonna touch that comment at all. I'm just gonna sip my coffee. That's good. Oh yeah, I finished the
Big Bill and Ricky Starks was Dark Order next. I don't know why it's not for the tag titles, just to give them another title defense because they've only defended the titles 3 times. Like they've had the belts for like 115 days now, 3 defenses.
Did we not post our Rampage live?
Oh, yeah, that's a good version. Yeah.
Because I forgot to. I was gonna go share it on Facebook, and I'm like, I don't, because it's commercial break right now. I was like, I'm just gonna quickly pop over and do that.
On commercial break.
Starks and Bill against the Dark Order. Okay.
I think it's really sad. I miss the Dark Order. Something's gotta give, man. Like,
yeah, unless they. I feel like their last hope was Bray Wyatt. He could have. He's kind of like Brody Lee in the story aspect, but that's not an option anymore. So.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, well, there is Bo, but Bo kind of seems like he wants to finish out the Wyatt family legacy with WWE.
He hasn't really done much. He's doing like wrestling and stuff.
Oh, all of his promos.
Listen, no, it's okay. I'll bring. It's okay. Yeah.
I absolutely hate commercials. Why are commercials a thing? I pay for you. I pay for a subscription online for you.
Are you okay? You sure? All righty. All right, Mom's a little tired, so she's gonna go. Anyway. It's interesting. She like a lot of the times I just ask her to like pick winners, and she's actually surprisingly good at it. Like she had no idea who like. There was one pay-per-view, I think it was Wembley, where she picked like 9 out of 11 just by looking at the pictures of the guys.
Too bad you guys aren't American. You could go on the DraftKings thing and win a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
Right? Don't they do that in like prediction betting on DraftKings?
Yeah, I think they do.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm trying to even remember, even back when Brody was with us, did the Dark Order really gain any momentum at some point? It's hard for me to think back that far.
When Brody, I feel like when Brody, because at first when they started, everyone was bashing them online. I mean, the one guy who was doing the fake punches, and then, oh yeah, that went everywhere. And then they fired the dude whoever did that in 2019, 2020, whenever that was.
2020.
And then Brody Lee debuted, and once Brody Lee debuted, they become more serious, a little bit more serious. People actually took him serious, and then Brody passed away. Then they kind of turned him face, and then after that, it's never really been the same, really.
No.
They had the underdog story that never came up. That was the downside with it when they turned face. It was the underdog story that never went anywhere. And it lost traction. And people were like, they had that pop still. Like there was still like the join us and like, you know, you still got the chance but it fizzled when nothing came of it. And I feel like the revival that they tried to do with the Righteous and Stu was gonna be epic, but that is nowhere to be seen. And that had its fingers in so many different storylines, it could have been massive. And it's nowhere. And I don't know why.
Well, Siren, you might be a little bit ahead of me, but I'm watching the Charisma Vacuum segment of the Jeff Jarrett crew.
Yeah.
You know, I listened to Jarrett on his podcast.
I bet.
And not as much as I used to, because a lot of it gets very repetitive. But he's one of the most intelligent people in the wrestling business. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
But damn it, like, can't he make it mean something? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I feel right now that he literally sucks the sparkle out of people with him, like Jay Lethal. Like I love Jay Lethal, but when I see him standing with that group, I'm like, I don't feel you at all.
And it's like, and it's so interesting. Like Conrad, who does the podcast with him, you know, in the beginning said, Jeff, you know what? All that time I saw you, you know, during the Attitude Era and all on in WWE, I called you, Jeff Jarrett. I called you the human fast forward button, right? and it's like not a whole heck of a lot has changed, has it?
No, unfortunately not.
And he's capable of so much more, and he's, you know, he knows so much. He's learned so much. I do like listening to him talk about the business because he has such a unique experience in the business, but it doesn't translate into anything. And it bugs me so much when a lot of these guys, like Jeff Jarrett, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, I understand they work for AEW, but some of the things they say about, oh, gee, you know, story is so important, and this is so important, and this is so important, and they're right. And I just want to scream, why don't you tell your boss that?
And I'm in the boat with you a little bit. I feel like early AEW had phenomenal story. The hiring boom, as I call it, era kind of screwed with everything a little bit, brought on some amazing talents, but it kind of messed with the universe, you know, that is AEW. And I feel like they're getting back there, but there are a lot of missed opportunities and balls have been dropped. Like, you know,
you're being very kind. Yeah.
Yeah, 150%, because I love AEW. AEW is my promotion. AEW is the promotion that I will stand by. It rekindled my love for wrestling, brought my passion back, and I believe in it 150%. But
that's great. I mean, my take on it is, sorry, finish your thought. Sorry.
You know, no company without.
Unfortunately, the problem is a lot of people just, you know, when you critique AEW or whatever, they think you're a hater, right? And the whole thing about, I don't want it to go away. I really do want it to be better. And I sincerely feel that. And it could be better, much like TNA. It could have been so much better. And it's those missed opportunities that are, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't what I feel like people, especially like people who are really passionate about AEW like myself, I don't people who critique it haters clearly don't understand that everything needs improvement. Now, there's a difference between critiquing the product
Yeah.
um,
And
and
hating.
where it can improve, and then the continuous, constant comparison to a company that's been around for 30 plus
I agree.
because it's not that company. It doesn't aim to be that company, and I think that's good. You know,
I
and
I would agree with you,
5
but
years, like it's
I
still
disagree that they do try to be like WWE, and it's what I feel that it's one of those things they try to be like WWE when they think it's advantageous for them, and then when it's advantageous for them, they're like, no, we're the alternative,
okay.
and sometimes it's kind of neither here nor there.
Okay, so that comes with any character ever.
Fair,
You know, like look at
fair.
a Charlie Chaplin, Mr. Bean. That's anything ever. It takes aspects of success and then it adds its own flair. That's any creation ever. Nothing in the
You're
entire
not
world
wrong.
is completely
However,
original.
look at what TNA is doing, right?
But that's what I'm saying.
TNA is just doing their own thing, and just like we're not even going to talk about WWE, we're going to do our own thing.
You know, they have a wrestling ring. That was done before. They have the 3 count. That was done before. You know what I mean?
Okay, you're talking about the technical aspect of
Well,
it.
no,
Okay.
but like I'm saying like but like there's base of every, like they have gimmicks, they have heels and faces, they have stories, they have, you know what I mean? Like it's all of it is gonna be like you're gonna see aspects of other things from everywhere all the time. You could say the exact same thing for other promotions, being like, well, you know, last week AEW did this, and now this week WWE is doing something that is somewhat similar. And I'm sure if you look hard enough, you could find that in any. Like, you know, my thing is, I just wish that people would stop comparing products and start enjoying wrestling.
That's I agree with you 100%. Like what you like. If you enjoy it, don't tell anybody. You know, whatever. And if somebody doesn't enjoy it, that's okay.
Exactly.
Don't make it into something that it's not, which I think every organization is guilty of from time to time.
150%. No,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. As an artist, and anything like this is art. This is performance. This is art. I don't care what anybody says. It's a sport, but it's still an art form.
It is.
You know, and to be creative, and especially in a company filled with all of these massively creative minds, you're gonna hit some of those points where you're like, well, that's kind of like this, that's kind of like that. Like you're gonna hit those points. It happens. It's just people overlapping, people like trying ideas and running stuff. It's gonna happen. You're gonna run into those moments where you're like, this feels kind of familiar. But how many times have we heard the story of Snow White and we still love it? You know, I don't know. I love wrestling. I love all wrestling. I'm trying really hard to get actively back into watching WWE because that was what I was raised with. WWF, WCW, WWE, that, you know, like the transition. I was raised with 6 older brothers who watched every wrestling program on TV.
Yeah.
You know, so like, but this is the program that I choose. And I want to love everything just as much. And I'm actively trying.
Today's Groundhog Day. I didn't know that. News to me. Thank you for letting me know that, Solid Terrell. Thanks for watching. Chris Leclerc, Io Sky versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. The WWE Women's Championship, WrestleMania 40. Yeah, that was announced tonight. Really good promo by Bayley, I thought.
That was excellent. And you know what? This is a thing, Siren, to follow up on what you were saying. Bayley's segment tonight, she told us a story. Even though you see it coming, you know, you knew what was going to happen. You still enjoyed watching it unfold. You still enjoyed seeing her do it. You know?
Love that. I love good stories.
That's what I want, right? When I see a guy, you know, in AEW, WWE, wherever, make me care about you, right? Make me feel something. And so many guys in AEW, WWE, all over the place are just so vanilla, right? Don't want to be a character. You don't want to be a character. Why exactly should I care about what you're going to do?
I can agree with that 100%. And like, no, I miss the stories. And that's why I like also some of the weirder gimmicks, I guess.
Yes.
Like a lot of people are really not super huge Abaddon fans, and I love Abaddon. One of the things that I wish that she didn't change, that she did change, that a lot of people are praising her for, was her in-ring wrestling style. Everyone's like, she looks so stiff and she moves so
but that was part of the gimmick.
corpse, guys. Like,
I get it. Yeah, I agree. I'm finding a new appreciation for that because you know what? I've gotten in the habit sometimes of being maybe a little more critical than I should be, like on some forums or whatever. And people are just like, "Why don't you just enjoy it, man? Like that's how it's supposed to be. Like this is."
remember when you were
So I'm big on self-awareness. I want to think about that, and I want to say, you know what? Yeah, if this person's going out there and trying to be unique, good for them. You know, Dalton Castle, when I first saw that guy, I'm like, this guy's a complete joke. And then I'm like, wait, yeah, this guy's a complete joke. You know, good for him. I'm beginning to realize that.
I think about the kids. I think about what it was when I was young, and
Yep.
the way that I would look at some of these characters that were outlandish and just be like, "Oh my god!" Like the
Right.
Undertaker. He doesn't seem super outlandish because he's been around for so long. But I mean, if you think about it, dead man walking. You're essentially that's a corpse. You're talking about a dead guy. You're talking about
That's
a dead
right.
alive man. You're talking about Abaddon. Okay, like don't get with me right here now. Like this
That's
is
fine. Yeah, I mean, I can totally appreciate what you're saying about Abaddon now, right? I'm developed it, and I'm realizing if somebody is trying to be unique, let's go with it.
I try to look at it like a building a lifelong fans kind of thing, right? With kids. Like you can see a bunch of guys in the ring fighting, and it's pretty cool. But like to see some of those more outlandish gimmicks when you're younger, awesome. Or it's why kids like Orange Cassidy so much. It's different. It's weird. Is he really like, right? And
you can debate about whether it still matters.
But yeah, like I think it's all good.
Okay. All right. Okay, this is some interesting stuff. Stooley, I support my horrible camera work. I can't even read what the sign says. I support my girls. What does that say? What's that last word? Okay, I don't even know. But
I like her. You know what's funny? I feel like she doesn't try as hard when she's on Ring of Honor.
Are you talking about Willow?
No, I'm talking about Queen Aminata. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Again, you're ahead of us. I haven't even seen Queen Aminata yet.
Like halfway down the ramp before I said it.
What's that? On my screen, she's not even there yet.
Okay.
Now her name just came up like on my screen.
I feel like Queen Aminata doesn't try as, and I could be wrong, but like the matches I've seen of her on Dark, or not on Dark, on ROH, I'm like so excited to show somebody this woman, and I'm like talking her up, and then I'm like, oh, well, that wasn't very clean.
No.
Well, that could have been, right? And I'm like, oh, and then I watch her on AEW television, and I'm like, where were you when I was trying to show you off on ROH? Like, what happened? I don't know. Maybe it was just like off nights. I don't know.
She's another one who's trying to pull off a bit of a unique look. So I'm with it. I'll give her time.
Aminata's been wrestling for 7 years.
Yeah, she's new to me because I'm not really much into the ROH and indies like you may be, but yeah, I can tell she's been around.
Yeah,
and done her time.
We'll never get that.
I just wish, and Sarah, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts about this. I think the problem with the women's division is, again, like a lot of AEW, but especially I think it's more visible in the women's division, there's just a lack of direction. Like, okay, they have these matches. Where's it going?
Britt needs to come back. They are getting a little bit better with story. They are starting to like do a little bit more long term with like the Willow and Sky and Julia and all that stuff. They brought in Abaddon with Julia, and I'm not really sure if they're gonna do anything with that. Same with the whole Thunder Rosa Abaddon. I'm not sure.
That's
a whole bunch of unfinished, not tied up. The only person right now that I have aside from obviously Toni Storm and Deonna, because they have their stuff all set in stone. That's going to be a long storyline that they can ride out if they do it properly. But the only other person that I would I think would be pretty set. Oh, I lost my thought. Dang it. Who was it? Who was I thinking about? I'll come back to me on that storyline. That's what I was thinking about. I'll remember. I have a burnout brain. My ADHD does that.
Okay. Connor, the people in the comments are wondering if you're okay. You're very quiet.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff I want to say. Just watching some. I'm waiting for David LaRecca. He's fixing to have a immediate busted open podcast about what just happened. Like Cody Rhodes, the guy you invest in so much since last year's WrestleMania. You know, he beat Seth Rollins 3 times. He wrestled with a torn pec. He's beat everybody. You know, to lose WrestleMania last year, fans leaving disappointed. To it just getting handed to someone who does movies and appears maybe once a year, maybe not even all a year, just to have a dream match. No. So now, all that last year, though, losing last year means nothing.
Well, it's possible, and if that's how it happens, then yeah, that really is a shame. But I don't know. I still think it remains to be seen.
Triple H should be fired now.
I'm not buying. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. I was thinking about that actually a lot today. There's so much we don't know about that whole situation.
Well, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just saying for this.
Oh well, again, I don't know how much is in his hands because, like, look, Nick Khan is calling the shots. He's running that company, and just to get to this point, I have a feeling that he had to tell his boy Triple H, let me handle this. You just be the face of the company for a while. Trust me. Yeah, and here we are. I don't know. Could be wrong, but.
And like the look at Cody's face when the Rock shook his hand.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting. I didn't quite know what to make of that.
Why did I leave a company that I built from the ground up, where I could have been anything I wanted if I just turned heel, to come back here and get shit on again?
He looked crushed. He looked really crushed. Like that was his reaction after losing last year. It kind of seemed like, which hopefully they do it at Elimination Chamber, Rock and Roman, but just to look at his face, that kind of said it all. But
that's unfortunate.
What match we got going on here? We got Willow Nightingale and Queen Madonna.
Aminata.
Oh, my glasses with me. I don't wear glasses in the podcast, but I normally wear glasses. I just don't wear them on the podcast.
Mm.
I wear glasses, and I was trying to wear them yesterday because I hadn't been wearing them in a while, and it actually made my aim worse on my shooting game. So I think I've gotten used to having 2 of the little green dots.
Well, I'm completely blind without my glasses, so I don't have a choice. So.
You're like my husband.
Yeah, I probably should wear my glasses more. Swerve is a beast. AWWEZ.
Oz? Is that what that is? Not sure.
No, thanks for watching. Swerve is a beast.
Yes, thank you.
I appreciate it. Everyone watching, really, we definitely appreciate everyone watching, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch. I don't even know. That. We're in full commercial. So the main event tonight will probably be the CMLL guys versus was it 2.0, Matt Sydal and Daniels, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah.
That sounds right. Yeah. I like Christopher Daniels. I was actually watching Styles Joe Daniels, Turning Point, TNA, earlier today. That was a really, really good match.
I wasn't doing anything today, but I have stuff to do tonight.
No.
When do you think Dark Side of the Ring is going to come out, the 5th season, for like all of it, so I can watch all of it at once?
I remember reading it was going to start in March.
Okay, cool. Because I've been on a kick for that lately. All right, here we go.
Yeah, Dark Side is always interesting.
Just like sometimes it triggers things from my childhood because I'm like, oh, I remember this. Oh, I remember this. Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, the Benoit one was tough for me. I have a story at an appropriate
I've
time.
watched so many and listened to so many different things on that. And I just, my brain is such a scramble when it comes to that now. I just can't even touch it.
Davis. Yeah, I agree. I'm crushed about Cody, but love the new backgrounds. Thank you. We had one. We started for on the sister channel, the Worldwide Wrestling Podcast for Rumble, but I thought it would be nice to adapt it into the All Elite Zone. So we did it for Dynamite, did it for Talking Elite, now we're doing it for Rampage. So tomorrow for Collision, we'll have a Collision. I thought it's very unique, some different. So
it looks so good, Connor. I love it.
Yeah, I got to make something for Canada now.
Exactly.
I have to get a background for my camera thing.
I can technically do it, but I'm not at my normal spot, but I can still do a background technically, but it just doesn't.
I figured as much.
Well, maybe I don't. I can't. That was Chris Statlander. No, Willow one.
Yeah, I mean, I get why they're doing it, but it's a little weird for Willow being a face to have her friends out here and Queen Aminata doesn't. But
Someone's gonna turn heel at some point in this. I feel like it's gonna be Statlander.
Oh, it has to be. Look at who her new best friend is.
Jabeen Hood.
You figure Stokely is gonna like kind of come between them and stir something up?
He's known
that makes some sense. Or gosh, it could even be coming here.
Oh, that's adorable. That's adorable. Oh my gosh. Somebody put that in a gift. I need that in a gift.
I'm not sure what you're referring to because you're ahead of me.
Oh god. He looks weird doing this.
He looks so unimpressive.
He's got a bean head.
Are you referring to Stokely doing this lame dancing?
I love it. I think it's so freaking cute.
It's funny. It's funny. I get it.
Okay. I need a gif of it though, just so I can replay it over.
All right, and here's pockets.
Adam Cole. Is he going to do the same thing that Roderick Strong did? And it's a miracle that he got out of the wheelchair.
Really not. Like we rented this wheelchair for 6 months. We only used it for 3.
Well, he had surgery in. I was talking about this with there was someone that he had surgery in. He got injured in September, so he had surgery in September. He's supposed to be out for 6-7 months, so it's been almost 6 months. So after Evolution, he should be somewhat ready to go. Well, it was
So I guess they're setting something up for Dynamite here.
Got 360.
Oh, Rampage. Sorry.
No, Rampage.
I love Renee.
So we got next
I don't know her as much as I love Lexi though.
We got Strong in the Kingdom versus Trent Cassidy and Romero. Yeah. They normally don't do this, but as of late, I've noticed that they've been announcing Rampage matches a week ahead. They used to never do that, but they started doing that. Like with Private Party and Top Flight, they announced that a week in advance. So I'm liking how they're announcing matches a little bit in advance to possibly increase ticket sales, and get people excited. which I was most looking this entire card. I was most looking forward to Top Flight and Top Flight and Private Party. Private Party has been one of my favorite teams since AEW started. The Private Party, and they actually have the guardrail thing when they come out is a Private Party, so they're allowing. I thought that was pretty cool, and I like in their interviews that they have the guardrail, so you can only be in the Private Party to be in the party. So not over the party line, then you're not in the party. And I like that they're finishing, like some of their finishing moves are named after, like vodka cranberry, like one of their moves to vodka cranberry. Everything's so unique about them, and their moves are unique. It's been a while since they've been in tag team action, so it's great to have them back.
Very much agreed. How long was Quinn out?
Mark Quinn,
Yeah.
he was out for like 2 weeks. That's good. I think he got injured in January, like the same time of last year. So he's out basically a whole year.
Yeah.
It's a while.
No, Kyle O'Reilly's been out for 2 years now.
That's okay.
I don't know. I miss Kyle O'Reilly because when he first got injured, like he wrestled with a broken freaking neck. So Kurt Angle's not the only one who can brag about that anymore. Kyle O'Reilly won the Battle Royal with a broken freaking neck. He didn't beat Moxley, but he almost did. Hopefully he's doing better though, because I know he had 2 neck surgeries, which is not good.
Not ideal.
Yeah, 2 neck surgeries. That's a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but hopefully he's back soon. I know on my AEW All Access, him and Adam Cole talked and stuff. So. Talking about people coming back, Pac, he'll be back pretty soon. Looks like. Last year he didn't really have a big year. He had like 3 matches. He was mostly injured, but 2024 may be a bigger year for him. Jamie Hayter's coming back soon. I bet Britt Baker comes back at the same time she comes back. Yeah, there's a lot of exciting things for AEW in 2024. Wrestling in general.
Well, we'll have to see what the not major but big announcement is on Dynamite this week.
Yeah,
there's already been some talk about that.
I know there has been speculation of AEW going to the TD Garden.
Yes.
Boston.
So it could be that, or it could be something actually meaningful. I guess we'll have to wait to see.
Tony said all kinds of big announcements. So you never know what he's gonna. He could announce that he purchased WWE. You never know. Which I hope that's not true. Uh-oh. Are we fixing to have Rampage brawl out? Harley cameras. Ugh. That was gross.
Oh. Oh. I'm watching the are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? The women snapping at each other? Yeah.
Yeah,
that was a solid jab, Ruby.
Damn.
Okay, well.
Damn.
All right. She did something she hasn't done in a very, very long time. She got me a little bit interested.
Renee was like, shut up. Like, after a while, she's in a lot of these backstage interviews with annoying people like Mina Shavir and others.
Uh-oh.
And after a while, it gets annoying. And then to finally see her say, shut up. Like,
yeah.
I like Renee for that.
Not her fault, but there's a reason Cornette calls her Ruby So-So. A lot of that is just her booking. But again, she's another one who hasn't done herself any favors, I feel, since she's come to AEW.
I wonder if
Ruby for a little bit there, but I agree. It was kind of hard though to shine because like when she came back from injury, it was well now Soraya's here and Tony's here. That was the hiring boom curse. Nobody had time to shine because there was always somebody new coming in to shine.
That was an issue. Yep.
I wonder if Ruby Soho gets involved in this match.
I would be curious.
I think they dumped that, didn't they? The whole thing with her and Angela Parker.
Well, it left off with well.
Oh yeah, Harley Cameron goes. Yeah, you could be right. Maybe they do get involved. Yeah.
Because Saraya did it all to get Ruby Soho away from Angela Parker, so Saraya could have it all for herself. So never know. I remember that one week. It was like a week or two ago that she smashed that cake in his face. And then he literally came out with the cake on his face after that segment.
Yes, that was good. That was funny. I like that.
All right, this is gonna be interesting. I know two of these people. The original Sin Cara and one of the guys was in the Lucha House Party. I forget what I don't know what his name is now, but
hold on. There's only three of. Oh, there. Yeah, the one with the green jacket is Sin Cara. Yes.
Yeah, the original because they recasted the character and then they.
Yeah.
This is the OG Sin Cara.
Okay.
I actually met Sin Cara, but I don't know who I met really. I don't know if I met
him. That's the thing, you never know, right?
Because there's two different ones, and I don't know who I met. I guess I'm just gonna say I met Sin Cara. Either way,
that's a question. How would you know, right?
Yeah. I know. What's his name? Earl Hebner. He had a brother named Dave Hebner.
Yeah, they're twins.
I know he passed away recently, but golly, I don't know how they tell the difference between them two.
Oh,
they look identical.
Wow. Well, they crafted the best wrestling angle ever, frankly, out of that, right? Back in 1988.
Who was it? Hogan and Andre, and then
DiBiase technically, but Hogan and Andre, yeah.
Then they switched, and then
yep, that was amazing. I still remember that. Okay, so for our people who are watching, I'll throw out a topic of discussion as we're watching this, if you guys don't mind. Luchadors. One of the things that I've heard, like Eric Bischoff talked about this when he brought cruiserweights over and things like that, and he's gotten a lot of guff over the years for, getting Rey Mysterio to take his mask off, and his rationale for that was, look, for an American audience, you need to see the guy's face, you need to see what he's feeling, so that he can make that connection to the audience for what's going on in the ring. So I thought about that, and I said that's interesting. And one thing I've started to notice is people like Rey Mysterio, they still, of course, have their mask. But at least you have the mask that kind of like doesn't go over your whole face. You can still see the guy's mouth and his chin. And so he can emote a little bit. And a couple of these guys seem to have that style of mask in this match. Or one of them at least does. Whereas a couple of them, like, you can't see their face at all. Your thoughts? Yeah. Thoughts from the... people who are watching? I'm interested to hear what people think about that.
So called her.
So called her dummy.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Don't need to wrestlers. Don't need to tell wrestlers so much story without having to lose it every time. If you can't see, like Bandito, he tells emotion and a story. Everything he does. There's certain wrestlers like Ray Phoenix and Penta. You can more so Phoenix, but there's certain ones like Bandito. We haven't seen him in a while. We haven't really seen much of him in AEW. Well, I've seen a lot of him. Like when AEW first started, I wanted them to sign him. Then he got signed to it was Ring of Honor and New Japan at the time. Then they couldn't.
I understand the feeling of like everything needs to pander to an American audience, but at the same time, I kind of agree with like you should be able to tell a story, and a lot of people can tell a story without ever having to see their face.
Yeah, some can. You're right.
But I do agree that for some people it would make it easier for sure.
Yeah.
That was yeah.
These
Yeah,
chops
that was
by
very-
Sin Cara. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce his name now, but Sin Cara, these chops are deadly. Like he's just raising his whole hand back and bam.
Well, we're assuming he's the Sin Cara you think he is.
I guess he's the guy. May not be.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the same kind of build as the Sin Cara that I think of, but
Now, there's one luchador that I really liked. He was in TNA and WCW. Was La Parca. He was very unpredictable. You never know what he was thinking because he was a very different mask, but he was really, really good in the ring. La Parca. I don't even know if he wrestles anymore.
I'm not even sure if he's alive anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if he's alive anymore.
That looks hurt.
No, that La Parca passed away in 2020.
Wow, I didn't know that. Damn. Well, La Parca was definitely a legend in Lucha Libre. He was, if you want to watch TNA or WCW, he was something different.
I was going to say exactly that. He was different. Yeah.
And I was about to say I want to see him in AEW.
The Cell was good.
Another interesting thing that I saw online was there's this whole thing, the AAA and CMLL, right, where they don't get along. And my understanding is that these guys we're seeing in this match are CMLL guys, right?
Yeah.
They both have working relationships with the AEW, though. They've defended titles on the same promotion. I don't remember if it was the same show. It was the same show. Yeah, there was both of those promotions defended on an AEW show on the same.
Interesting.
They have a great.
Because I thought,
I believe,
from what I've heard listening to Conan, I thought no, can't do that. But I guess Tony Khan's found a way around it.
Well, my thing is, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, and I hope that everybody views it, like Triple H did make a comment about the Forbidden Door being silly, and I really hope that it wasn't just because he can't say Forbidden Door. I really hope it's because he actually thinks it's silly, because it is. It's silly. And I think that promotions should work together, and why not? You create such amazing experiences, and it's a great experience for your wrestlers, for your talent to go other places and experience and wrestle other people in different ways. You're just creating more hype, and it's just a good thing for wrestling.
Pretty good. And I think there are ways to make money with it too, which is obviously a concern to,
of course,
most promotions. The biggest thing that I've always heard about that, again, listening to other people talk about it, is there's got to be a trust between those promotions.
100%.
In the sense of, if my guy gets hurt going to your promotion, well, what are we going to do about that? That's going to suck for both of us, right?
WWE used to do that. Like they used to let the wrestlers go to take bookings other places, but I remember it was one WrestleMania and they had a big, like Triple H got hurt and it ruined a lot of plans. And after that, they stopped doing that. Like they didn't let anyone go. Like you're wrestling for WWE, or you're not going to be here at all. Like, if you're here for WWE, you're here for WWE. But I believe the plan, or I don't know if it's the plan, but it seems like AEW has distanced themselves from AAA a little bit. So for Forbidden Door 3, CMLL and New Japan will be included. So it'll be 3 promotions, technically, which I kind of want them to do at Forbidden Door 3, World War 3.
That'd be cool.
If anyone knows what that is. The WCW pay-per-view, World War 3, 3 rings, 1 big battle royal.
I remember that.
Then whoever wins gets to go for either the AEW World Championship, the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Championship, or the CMLL World Championship.
That would be interesting. The big problem that I had with that back in the day with WCW, and I think AEW would have that same problem, is it's tough for TV
Well, it'd be for a pay-per-view.
Yeah, you do it for pay-per-view, but again, even pay-per-view, technically you're watching on a screen, right? And that's a big problem because what do you pay attention to? Like I remember with the Wembley show, right, where they had I don't even remember what they called it, but the brawl all around the arena. Like, what do you pay attention to, right? There's something going on here, there's something going on there. And that just makes it tough for the screen audience, let's say, right?
Like I remember, like they had like 3 different commentary teams during that match. They had Dusty Rhodes and Larry Sabisco, and they had Tony Schiavone and Bobby.
Yeah.
They had like 3 commentary teams. Like it was. Thank you, Michael. No, I don't think they would use it. It's kind of like War Games.
Yeah, they wouldn't use that name.
Like they wouldn't use kind of like War Games. They use blood and guts, so it would be kind of like that. They would create their own.
They probably use blood. Yeah,
like they would create their own name for it. It would be the World War III style match, but a different name.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you.
But yeah, there's a lot of wild matches that they could do in AEW. I want to see an actual exploding barbed wire death match.
I think we did once, didn't we?
No,
well, kind
of. Did.
Yeah, we did. Well, they tried to show us one. How about that? Yeah.
Because watching that stuff in Japan, like golly, the whole thing explodes like a bomb went off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Darn right.
I don't know. I just think these guys already take too many silly chances with all sorts of things as it is, and maybe should focus more on.
I know what you did, Michael, with that comment. You guys rock.
Oh,
okay. I see what you did there.
I am going to say, Amer, you wouldn't go into Cirque du Soleil, and I know I brought it up before as a comparison. You wouldn't go into Cirque du Soleil and tell them not to do the sky dancing because you can fall to your death. Because you totally can. It's completely unsecured. But that's their job. It's their passion. It's what they love to do and how they love to express themselves. Yes.
I get it.
But if done properly, there are measures in place. But like Adam Cole broke his leg stepping off a ramp. Like
you're not wrong. I understand that. But then what you're doing is you're getting into this whole game of you're just now what are you gonna do, right? And
now what does New Japan do? How many exploding barbed wire death matches have they had? It's not
I'm not sure, to be very honest with you.
But it's not the now what are they gonna do? It's like, gosh, I wish they could execute that properly, and I would love to watch it again. It's the same thing with a Hell in a Cell, or
and those are so overdone now. It's
but it's also a 30-year company. When was the first Hell in a Cell? 20 years ago.
1996. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I think for guys like Top Flight, for example, they could probably change their moveset up a little bit so they don't get injured all the time, because they will never be tag champions if they cannot. Like, they need to stay healthy at least a whole year before putting tag titles on them, because like if you put tag titles on them, they get hurt, then you gotta take titles off of them, then you gotta put it just ruins everything. But
best analogy, it's like baseball, right? The starting pitcher, you know what? Can't throw 100-mile-an-hour fastball anymore. You got to make adjustments, right? You got to do something a little different.
Rematch for Rob Van Dam at Revolution. I would say probably Darby Allin. It's not this year. It's not going to happen. But
no,
if just dream booking Rob Van Dam and Darby Allin, or RVD and Will Ospreay, I don't think that's ever happened.
That hasn't happened.
But yeah, there's RVD and Darby Allin, they have a lot of similarities with. If you put Darby Allin in the ECW, the OG ECW, then
oh gosh,
I think Darby Allin would have been one of the ones to.
I don't think he'd be alive at this point. That's what I think. Darby Allin would have won this one. Not surprising, I guess.
He would have thrived in that type of environment. Hopefully, AEW will bring back the exploding barbed wire death matches here. I'd like to see him bring back one. They got to pull it off.
It has to be successful.
Because I remember Tony Khan talking about this one time, and he didn't even pay the people who put that up. Like, he got really mad and said, that is not what I paid for. I am not paying for that. I paid for the whole ring to explode. I did not pay for a bunch of sparklers. And then he didn't pay for it either.
I didn't hear that, but that doesn't surprise me.
I'm very happy
again,
to put his foot down.
I don't know where I heard that from, but it was him in an interview, and he was talking to someone. I believe it was it was one of the Fightful interviews. He goes on there quite a bit. Yeah, I think that was the end of Rampage.
Well, I mean, you know what else, Tony? Maybe having a production meeting once in a while might be helpful.
Did we know what Tony's big announcement was?
No, we don't.
We still don't?
It's it's for Dynamite.
Oh.
I mean, it could be anything from they've signed Mercedes Moné to, hey, we're going to have a big show at the Boston Garden.
I think it's...
Yeah, they're kind of all over the place, aren't they?
Yeah, well, more towards the, hey, we're going to have a big show at the Boston Garden.
I think it's probably going to be a show at the... If they're really wanting to build this up big, announce it at TD Garden and have the flyer themed green for Mercedes. Technically Boston's. Boston, TD Garden green. That's kind of a hint of someone. So
yeah. Sorry, excuse me. I went to school in Boston, so when I was there, I'll always remember it as a Boston Garden. So that's why I still call it that.
Or it could be, I didn't even expect one time he announced All In. I didn't expect him to announce that at all. All In at Wembley, like that was something that I never would have thought was it.
That was yeah.
So it could be it could be All In, and I don't know, Tokyo Dome, Japan. You never know. I mean, you just never know what's going on. I never thought All In would happen at Wembley, and it happened. So anything is possible that Tony's going to announce. Are you still interested in Jamie Hader feud? Eventually, they're going to have to do that. At some point, they're going to have to do that. They're both coming back from injuries, so.
I don't think that'll be the first thing they start off with.
No, probably not.
They'd have to they'd have to rebuild up to that because it could be Tony Khan in the Dark Order. Yeah, that would be interesting.
You don't need to be more of a joke. Stop it. Don't be mean.
I don't know if it's true, but when they had the Texas Chainsaw Death Match, he was the person that was in the chainsaw. I don't know if that's true.
I heard that.
Honestly, though, if you were Tony Khan and you're like, hey, how can I be involved in this without people knowing that I'm involved in this?
Yeah,
wouldn't that be fun? Like, I was in a wrestling match. That was me.
Oh, I don't know if it was one of the first AEW events ever, and Tony Khan Stone Cold stunned someone.
Did he?
Yeah, it was like 2019. I'll post it on our group chat. I know I can find it.
My burnout brain is.
He even said F the Elite one time when it was a story of Kenny Omega, and it was when Kenny was the belt collector and all that. And Tony
yeah. I was like, I'm so glad that I stopped drinking, you guys. My memory is so much better now, but I need to refresh it on all my stuff.
And there was one time I remember when Tony? It was when the TNA and AEW had their little partnership, and like every week, Tony was just burying that company. I mean, he was saying, I sent 2% of my roster there, and this and that. And
I love Tony. I don't know. Everybody's like, he's such a, and I'm like, I get that, but he's trying so hard. Like,
yeah, that could be a interesting concept.
Tag titles for women. Yeah, I would actually really love that. I don't think it'll happen right now, but I would love that. They have been doing a little bit more ladies story work.
That could work.
That would be funny. That would be something.
But he'd have to grow the mustache. Just the mustache.
Oh.
Yeah, he used to have a mustache too.
Yeah, but like that kind of mustache.
He's actually had that before too. I think before years ago. I wouldn't look it up for you.
I don't want to. I love Tony too much.
I like Tony. I actually met him in person. He was really, really nice. Really, like you never see Triple H or anyone doing stuff like that. like
He
going
seems
out
like
and
a
thanking the
kind-hearted
fans for coming. And like I almost met him in St. Louis, and the stupid woman got in the way. Then he left. Then the next time I was there in Nashville, I was determined to beat him. So when the show was over, I was on the floor. I climbed over chairs over everybody. I got in people's way. I didn't care if they got mad. And I got me a picture with Tony Khan. I met
Hells
him,
yes.
and I was on a mission that night that I don't care what was going to happen, that I was going to get the picture with Tony Khan. That's what I got. And some people got mad, but they can deal with it. They probably don't even remember it now. But
Well, that beats my stories from WrestleMania 18. But okay.
oh wow, we gotta save those for AZ Canada. I feel
Okay.
Yeah, tell us all about it. So what's everybody's rating for tonight?
I give it a. I'm still bummed out over SmackDown, but I'm not gonna let that reflect on.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with this.
That's ruined my whole night, really. But I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10.
I was thinking in that range. I was thinking grade of B. I think it was, it was a decent Rampage.
Yeah, I was in that 7.1, 7.2. I loved the little bit with Stokely. I thought that was absolutely adorable.
That was funny.
But yeah, like, was there a whole heckin' lot happening?
No. But that's every Rampage, right? I mean, it is.
Yeah. Some of those are really cool spots. I loved the luchas. I love that AEW does focus a lot on lucha. They're like, look, there's this whole thing that nobody talks about as much as they should. Like, watch them, they're cool. And I like that. So yeah, I would say like 7.1, 7.2 is where I'm at.
I mentioned it earlier, and I like that they're pre-announcing matches for Rampage a little. Because this also reflects on Dynamite ticket sales because they filmed Rampage after Dynamite. So
I thought they did it before Dynamite. No,
after.
Did it before or after? Sometimes they do it before, sometimes they do it after.
Okay.
When I went, it was after.
I know sometimes.
But I mean, it could be different everywhere you go.
Could be.
Every time I've been to a Dynamite since they've started Rampage, it's always been after. But
okay.
Sometimes they film it before. I remember, I know I told everyone else's story, but I haven't told you. I went to Collision in Lexington, Kentucky. So they had 2 Rampage matches first. They had 2 hours of Collision, then 15 Ring of Honor matches. Then we have 3 more Rampage matches. And then after that, Tony Khan and Adam Cole comes out to send the crowd home happy. Then by the time the show was over, it was 2 a.m. So
I mean, I wouldn't be complaining. I'd be hyped. My feet would hurt, but
I wasn't complaining because I had floor seats. I was like right by the guardrail. And then the more people left, they said, "Come on, you can scoot over." I was all the way to the second row. Like I stayed the whole night. I didn't I paid $90 for my ticket, so I pretty much.
Yeah, well, then you're gonna sit there to get money's worth. I'm asking only because I'm just curious. I know a lot of people make a big deal out of this, and a bigger deal than they should. Can you tell us a little bit about how the arena looked and felt for that? Because we hear so much about how the hard camp side is completely empty, and I know that that's not true. But like, how do they manage it? What do they try and do when you were there? I'm curious.
Every time I've been to an AEW show, sometimes they like to tarp the hard camera side off because sometimes they only sell tickets for that. Because no, it's a hard cam. But I know the Collision that I was at in Kentucky. For me, the energy was electric because it was CM Punk was there, and then it was the one where he wore the outfit and he took off the mask. Yeah, I've never been a part of something that was that loud.
When was that? That was like back in the summer, I think, right?
It was right before All In. Like it was like 2 weeks from All In.
Okay.
Like the entire show, I thought was electric. The entire show is really good crowd. Sometimes I don't feel like that gets across on TV. Sometimes
it does not.
It's really loud there in person, but on TV when you go back and look at, sometimes it matches, but not all the time. I remember it was like a show recently that someone said that they were there and it felt loud the entire night, but on TV, I believe it was Georgia, and everyone online was saying the crowd was dead, but fans, they were loud as hell. But just on TV, it didn't come across that way. I don't know how that is, but every time I've been there, it's been every AEW show I've been to has been pretty loud. I don't know if it's because I sit close to the ring, but
I was very disappointed in the Canadian crowds, and I shamed people.
no.
Yeah, they were the people who knew what they were watching were very involved, and they were very loud, and it was awesome. But you have people who came and who like had no idea who the wrestlers were. They came because it was a show to go to, and a lot of people were kind of like dicks and we're just yelling inappropriate things. Like we had somebody got by us that like had to be removed, and then literally as the first show ended, because both the shows that I went to were double shows, right? So it was like AEW, it was like Collision and Rampage or whatever, and then Dynamite and ROH. So like as the intermission was happening, I would go and I'd stand by the doors and I would shame people as they were leaving.
Oh gosh.
And I'm like, why are you leaving? You paid to be here. There's wrestling still happening. What are you doing? Like, and I would literally shame them as they
What
left.
responses
No
did you get?
re-entry. You can't come back in. So yeah, that's my job at AEW shows is to shame people halfway through.
What responses did you get by people? With that?
Most people were just like, "Oh, I mean, I just, nobody wants to say anything. Nobody wants to say anything. Like, I didn't know it was gonna be this long. Why are you here to watch wrestling? Why are you complaining that there's more wrestling? I don't know."
I think people have a different idea of what is entertaining. Again, I'll just throw out an anecdote. I don't know how much time we actually have for this, but I remember, like, I'm talking, like, for me, back in, like, the mid-'80s, Hulkamania days, when I got into wrestling, I would watch absolutely anything I possibly could. But, of course, living in Toronto, all you got was WWE, or WWF at the time, right? Because the only American television we got was Buffalo, right? Or Rochester, New York. So I had an aunt who's passed away since, rest in peace, but she lived in Syracuse, New York. And, she and her husband lived there. They were an older couple. For me, it was the most boring place in the world. She was sick, so we'd go visit her and that sort of thing. But then when I got into wrestling, I was actually looking forward to going to Syracuse, New York. You know why? Because they had cable. Right? And they got TBS and they got the Superstation. And it's like, oh wow, holy crap, there's more wrestling, right? And that was at the time when I think Vince McMahon had gotten there, so they showed like Tuesday Night Titans and things like that. But they also showed WCW or Jim Crockett Promotions, I guess it was at the time. And I remember, like, I would watch it because I was a wrestling junkie, but I was like, it was so different. It wasn't what I was used to, And Siren, I bet you that's kind of what it is. Like, you get used to something. It's like, that's the entertainment I want. And yeah, it's wrestling, but us here, we're entertained by wrestling. Not everybody is, and we have to realize that. People go to shows to be entertained. Right? And if they don't find it entertaining, okay, they don't find it entertaining. But I get what you're saying. Why'd you come to a wrestling show if you're not going to be entertained by it?
Well, and like, it was just so weird, like, because beside us, and this was like during actual like AEW shows, you'd have people being like, "Who's that?" And it's like Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
And you're like, he's been on the last like 6 weeks of television pretty much nonstop. How do you not know who this man is?
Yeah.
We looking at us as to who to chant for. Like, and we would confuse them because I'm the kind of person that even if you're a heel, I still love you. So we'd be like, yeah, and they'd be like yaying, and then we'd be booing at the same time to the same people, and you'd have people like double taking us. Like, what do we do? What do we do? Are we booing or are we cheering? Like,
it's a problem all
pay
over.
attention to us. Just enjoy what you enjoy. Like,
right. It's a big problem because, again, we were talking about characters and story, and again, not enough people, and it's not just AEW. A lot of it's in WWE, even in TNA. People are not unique. Like if you went and said, "Hey, you got to see Ricky Starks," okay, why do I have to go see Ricky Starks? What's unique about him? What would you say?
He was on TV for the last 6 weeks. Why do you not know his name?
I get that, right? But again, if I were to talk about, I'll take an example because she's actually on my screen right now. Chelsea Green. Okay, let's take her as an example. Why do I want to see Chelsea Green? Oh, she's such an alpha bitch. You'll hate her. You know, there's something I can say about her, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you understand what I'm saying? So there is a little bit of that going on, and again, so many people all over. Just you got to get something out. You got to have something that we can give to other people to say, this is why you should care about this guy. Something, anything.
I remember when I went to Full Gear, speaking of Ricky Starks, there was these girls who made up a chant for Ricky Starks. I'm not even going to sing it because it was weird, but there was, I think Ricky Starks reminds me a lot of The Rock a little bit when he was younger.
Yes.
He's got that charisma.
Yeah, he has that kind of look.
And speaking of people not knowing stuff, I told everyone else this, but I went to All Out, and it was the Acclaimed and Swerved in Our Glory, and everyone wanted the Acclaimed to win. And everyone was chanting "Daddy Ass." Well, this older woman, she was maybe 70 or 80. She said, "Why is all these grown men chanting "Daddy Ass"?" And I just busted out laughing, and she doesn't know what's going on.
Yep.
And then all these men are chanting "Daddy Ass," and she's asking, "Why are they chanting "Daddy Ass?" And
it is kind of weird when you think about it.
Oh, it's hilarious! I love it.
But she thought it was funny though. Like she was enjoying it, but it was just her reaction to it just made me. I couldn't stop laughing. Like everyone was.
I have a "Scissor Me Daddy Ass" sound alert on my Twitch, and whenever new people come in who don't know wrestling, they click it and they were like, "I am not expecting that," because it's just angry yelling, "Scissor me, daddy ass," and I'm like, "Woo!" to the camera, right? And people are like, "I'm not expecting that," and I'm like, "Oh, you should watch AEW. That's great."
Yeah,
but like people don't know, right? Like some people have no idea, but it doesn't mean that they don't enjoy it. They're just like, "What is that? Why?"
Like this next AEW show, I'll be going to Revolution with my 18th AEW show. 2 more, and I'll be at 20. I really wish I could go to every show. Honestly, like how some people do, like they just sit in the same seats every week.
I wish.
But I don't have that kind of money, and probably never will. But if I ever came into a lot of money, I talked to some people about this. That some way, somehow, I would convince WWE to let me buy out the rights to WCW, and I'd bring it back.
Fuck yes.
I wish. I wish. I'd have to win the lottery a few times. Yeah. Pretty good Rampage. We all thought it was a decent show. We'll be back technically tomorrow afternoon, pre-recorded AZ Canada, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. We also just dropped our latest AZ Gaming episode 4 from last week. It's out. I put it out yesterday, I believe. It's out now. We did a little bit different stuff in this episode. We have a lot of we had a BTE title defense, so it's a lot of mini game stuff. It was very different. We haven't done that before, so definitely check that out. We started doing a lot of AEW Fight Forever content, which seems a lot of people are liking. So we're going to continue to put a lot of that stuff out. Then tomorrow night we'll have our AEW Collision live reaction. And then, as I said last night on Talk Elite, that next week there will be another guest announcement. This person is not the big announcement that I've been talking about for a while, but this person was in WWE, and they currently are in TNA. They'll be announced next week. Live-wise, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Before that, definitely check out the links in the description below: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Spotify, and TikTok. With a lot of interesting stuff on our shorts on YouTube and on TikTok. If you want to see more extended versions of the YouTube shorts, they're on TikTok. We post, you never know what will be on there. It could be from trading cards to all elite crates to fantasy bookings to Chris bashing a wrestler.
We have such a good time.
I want to get in on that.
Chris's live reactions, like he's still a fan. Like sometimes he takes it too serious, but sometimes the reactions are priceless. Like this dude,
I love it.
Literally hates these wrestlers to death. Like the heels, he hates the heels and loves the bad guys, that's a wrestling fan.
There you
go. We will see you guys tomorrow night live for our AEW Collision live reaction.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.